So as a user-generated site, you're protected by the safe harbor provisions, as we all are, kind of from the DMCA.
Right.
Now there's talk of, there's bills before Congress to change that. There's a current one called SOPA.
Bad.
Can you talk about that? Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it's
I mean, basically, I think the risk is right that like an errant link put up by a user could potentially get your site removed from search engines. Advertisers and payment companies won't, all these other things, and there's no like due process. And
it's the due process, and it's the, wow, there might be an issue here, so we're just going to take this broad brush legislation that can be interpreted by different courts in different manners and really cause havoc upon anyone actually doing real business on the internet, because it's so many sites you really can post just about anything, and it's just about anything that can't be filtered out automatically. So whether it's an Amazon review, a TripAdvisor review, a blog posting, all of a sudden that can have some stuff on it that's not okay, and someone tries to shut my entire business down because of it? So it's just how you read the law. It's really scary right now.
Hopefully enough people have been creating enough noise that at least it'll be a little more circumspect.
Yeah, no, add my name to the list of this legislation needs refinement if it goes anywhere. And even with refinement, I'm not sure what's wrong with the current system. So.
And so people watching this is a show for kind of fledgling entrepreneurs or something. Is there, what are maybe some of the, if you have it, like some of the top piece of advice you might give? Things you've learned, or?
Yeah, I've learned, for at least in a web-based, a consumer-facing web-based business, there's nothing like running a little test on the website itself to say what do your visitors really want, and the notion of doing a quick test solves umpteen meetings worth of powerful debate and logical arguments. So at TripAdvisor, we've for quite some time done these things called 404 tests. And HTTP 404 error, it's a link, it's broken, it gives you an error. And I'm a fan of, look, you want to test whether consumers want to sign up for a weekly newsletter on ski vacations? Hey, go put a link, before you build the darn thing, go put a link on your ski pages that says, sign up for our ski newsletter.
So it's a 404 test because you literally just redirect your 404s to this?
No, you put the link, you market it any which way you want on the site, the most compelling call to action, sign up, great ski newsletter. But before you actually spend the energy to design and build the product that you're actually going to deliver, in this case a newsletter, you put it on the site for an hour or a day and you see how many people click it. It goes nowhere. It says broken link to the user. I see. Your log file says how many people clicked on it. Yeah. And the marketing pushback I got when it was first introduced was, how can you do that to your customers? You're putting a broken link on your site deliberately. And I'm like, look, almost all the visitors' site, when they find a broken link, they're going to blame their internet connection, not me. Yeah. And what's the worst that can happen? 1,000 people or 5,000 people can hit that broken link, and you're pissed off as a marketeer because we've disappointed 1,000 people. I'm high-fiving it all over the place because with a 10-minute test, I found some great usability, some great user feedback that says they want this feature.
Or yeah, and you maybe avoided disappointing far more people, right?
Obviously in the other direction, if nobody actually clicked on it, then all the debate about whether it's a great idea or not is out the window. We couldn't market it on our own site. If we can't do that, I'm not interested as a feature.
And what about just sort of on the company build? I mean, you've built now a large company. Are there sort of things kind of key lessons you've learned through that process? Or
I'd say the most interesting wouldn't apply at the startup phase so much, but as, hey, we had a hit product, TripAdvisor, it kept growing, and then the question sort of, how do you expand? And there's the, look, you build it all into the mothership, or as we went through acquisitions, acquiring companies, and we built some own stuff internally. And when it was a big enough, important enough project, I really tried to keep it separate and give it some special CEO love. Because, hey, look, it's the mothership that's paying the bills, that's getting all the limelight. But if I want to incubate something through an acquisition, hey, keep it separate. Don't actually integrate it into the company. Give it the marketing support, give it the dollars, but let those guys go and run with the idea. or the project within the company, same thing. Set up a separate team. Staff that team with as many of the core resources you need in order to let it succeed. Give it some attention, but don't sort of bog it down with the rest of the processes.
And so just lastly, I guess now that you're independent, this will give you more flexibility, I guess, to do lots of different things. Like, can you talk about some of the plans you have now?
Well, I mean,
like, what is it now that you've? I mean, you obviously now have some more freedom on the advertiser side with a looser relationship with Expedia, but presumably you can also do other kinds of strategic things you couldn't do before, maybe.
And
like if you want to acquire startups, for example.
Maybe. So we've acquired over a dozen companies. We've been able to, Expedia, the funding source, has always approved the acquisitions that I've been interested in. So I really haven't been limited capital-wise for anything like that. And I thank my old boss Dara and Barry Dillard, the chairman, for really letting us pursue our own path. It's just worked out well. The numbers will speak for themselves, right? It worked out really, really well. So when I think of going forward, the most significant difference to the company, in addition to the spin-related costs and kind of the back office that we had to build up, is the new relationship with our other customers, who, while they love the traffic and the leads from TripAdvisor, never really liked the notion of helping to pay into the pocket of one of their competitors. Are we able to do bigger, more daring things? I suppose so, but do I want to build a transaction engine and go compete with Expedia? No, why would I? I've got a fabulous media business that's growing in all these countries, and stay the course as far as I'm interested in.
Great. Well, congratulations again, and thanks so much for being here.
Great, my pleasure. Nice talking with you.